Hey guys, and welcome to Phloshop. My name is Joseph. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how I edit my natural light portraits, but I also have a couple of things I'm going to do, like I'm going to remove from the shot, and I'm going to bring this green down into the frame a little bit more and crop it down. So I'm not going to waste too much time. I'm just going to jump right into it. I normally start working in Capture One, but this particular tutorial, I decided to start off in Lightroom. If you don't have Capture One and you have Lightroom, you can still create amazing images. So let's just jump right into it. So the first thing I'm going to do inside of Lightroom is just try and increase the dynamic range in the image as well. This image is cropped. Hopefully I should be able to get the entire image. So this is how it looked. If I drag it down, this is how it looked, but I just want it to be a little bit more intimate, so I'm cropping it up to about this point. And I know I'm gonna get rid of the arm, so I don't really care if I crop like at a joint area or anything of the sort. And I want to keep this for now because I'm gonna crop it to look something like so, but I just want this green bit to be in the shot, and so I want to keep it for now. We'll do the cropping in Photoshop. So I'm gonna hit done, and it's gonna apply the crop that I have made here in Lightroom. And what I'm gonna do is next is hit enable profile corrections and remove chromatic aberration as well. What I'm gonna do next is just drag the highlights down a little bit like so. I'm gonna bring the exposure down as well. I'm gonna make the whites a little whiter. Maybe push clarity to about +1. The haze maybe +1 as well. Set vibrance to +3. So the next thing I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna right click and go to edit with, and I'm gonna hit Photoshop. So it's gonna carry all the adjustments I've made inside of Lightroom, and it's gonna give me the chance to edit them in Photoshop. All right, so now that Photoshop has opened, I'm just gonna make it a full screen like so. Press escape, and we're gonna start editing. So in order to mark out what I want to do, again, I just wanna, since it's a complete tutorial, I just wanna show you physically what I'm gonna do. So the first thing I'm gonna do is get rid of this arm, and I'm gonna do that by, let's say, using pieces from here and then bringing them down to about this point. And I want to bring this green color because it just adds some pop to it. I'm gonna bring it down as well, maybe not all the way, maybe somewhere like so is where I'm gonna keep it. And I'm just gonna remove these little spots and this mark, this line. Maybe I might leave this, I don't know, depends. When I get there, I'm gonna get rid of this and basically maybe reduce the lines. And as you notice, majority of the light was coming from about this point, but if you look into the eyes, you can tell that I had this reflector on the floor and part of the sky. I mean, we were outside, so part of the sky is lighting up the face like so. And that's how come it looks like majority of the light is coming in from about this direction. And so it looks like she was being backlit, and the reflector on the floor bounced a little bit of light to fill in the face. So we're gonna relight the model with dodging and burning. All right, so enough of this. I'm gonna delete it, and I'm just gonna hit M and make a selection around here up to about this point and hit Command J. Now what Command J is gonna do is just give me a copy of the selection I made. This is it, and it's gonna put it on a brand new layer. So I want to bring it down to about this point, and I'm gonna hit C for my crop tool. I'm gonna hide this layer, and I'm just gonna crop it to the level that I want, and I want it to be in the upper third of the frame, so something like so is fine. And I'm just gonna hit the check mark. So I'm gonna make the layer that I created visible. I think I'm gonna bring it down a notch. Let's say to about this point. We can always make changes if we don't like it. And I'm gonna add a layer mask. Hit B for my brush tool. Make sure my flow is at 100. Make the brush bigger. Make it softer. And I'm just gonna start painting with black just to hide it from the model's face. Because the background looks so similar, blending these two images wouldn't be as difficult as it would if like they were all from like different backgrounds and things of that nature. All right, just gonna reduce just darkening like so, and there we have it. So we have that green tint in the frame. I don't know, should it be visible, should it be not? Maybe reduce opacity just a little bit like so. Yeah, kind of like it. All right, the next thing I'm gonna do is probably I'm gonna create a new layer, hit S for my clone stamp tool, and I'm just basically gonna start cloning this area out just to get rid of baby hair that was showing. Doesn't make it too pleasing. Just gonna get rid of that. So it's basically just taking your time and studying the image and looking at all the things that are not really adding any sort of value to the image and getting rid of it. I mean, so I think someone said if there's an element in your image that isn't really adding anything to it, it's probably taking away from it. So just get rid of it. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just cloning this side out. Maybe I just want to be a little bit more perfect. So I'm going to hit P for my pen tool and then just draw a shape around like so. And we're just going to fill it in. Just going to increase the feather radius and hit OK. I don't really care about the radius I'm using because I'm not going to paint all the way to the edge anyway, and I'm using a very soft brush, so I know I don't really mind. Yeah, that's just about it. All right, so it's going to do a little bit more filling right in here. Just like so. Maybe at this point I can just use my normal brush tool, reduce the flow all the way down, and just gonna fill it with color, because it's already a blur area. No one's gonna notice if I used like a normal brush to, fill in the hair strands. So sometimes you can just cheat in Photoshop. I mean, yeah, Photoshop it's supposed to let you cheat. Yeah, zoom out a bit, before and after. Yeah, she looks clean cut. I like it. All right, I think this bugs me right about here, so I'm just gonna hit OK. Instead, I'm gonna create a new layer and I'm gonna clone this entire area, so something like so, and just move it to this area. Just get rid of this. All right, so I'm gonna hit Command T. I'm just gonna move it to this part. Use my left arrow key just to make sure it falls in place, and OK it. Just gonna reduce the opacity just a little bit. My concern is not really her skin, it's just about what goes outside the skin. So I'm gonna add a layer mask, hit B for the brush tool again, increase the flow all the way up, and I'm gonna brush it out of here because I know this is in the area I want to affect. Maybe just get rid of it in this area like so. All right, it's a little bit too bright, so I'm gonna add a curves, clip it down to it, increase the brightness, and it matches just like that. All right, now I need to get rid of this entire arm, right? So what we're gonna do next is, I find that this area, initially I thought I was gonna clone from here, but this looks darker. Blending is gonna give me a whole lot of issue, so I'm just gonna use this area. So what I'm gonna do is go down to this, to the background layer, hit L, and then probably just draw around an area like this. I mean, the larger it is, the better. And I'm gonna hit Command J. It's gonna make a duplicate of it. I'm gonna drag it all the way to the top. Hit Command T and drag it over the arm. So right now what we need to do is basically just align this new layer with whatever it is that it's gonna cover. So something like so is great. Just gonna reduce the opacity a little bit like so I can see through it. And I'm gonna add a layer mask one more time. Hit B for my brush tool, and I'm gonna paint it out of areas like the face where I know it's not supposed to be. I'm just gonna get rid of it. Over here, paint it out of her body like so. Still painting it out. Just gonna make it 100% visible. Now I need to blend this into the background, right? So that we need to keep as much realness to it as possible. So hitting B again, making my brush soft this time, because we need everything to fade out rather gracefully or easily. So with a low flow, I'm just gonna start painting. And because it's a layer mask, if I reveal too much, I can always go back and paint it back. So don't be afraid. Layer mask is here to save you. All right, just gonna blend it in like so, just so it matches pretty well, and no one can tell that we did put anything like that in the frame. Just gonna make it smaller and get rid of this, get rid of that, get rid of this. Now I feel it's a little bit brighter, so I'm gonna hit curves again, clip it to that particular layer, and I'm gonna start darkening it down like so. So before and after, before and after. All right, I think I can still add a little bit of the background in this area. So I'm gonna hit B for my brush tool, go back to the layer mask on that particular layer, and just hide it out of here. I reviewed a bit of the her hands. I'm just gonna bring it back like so. All right, kind of like where we are. So I'm gonna put everything into a group, hit Command G and call it BG for background, and clean up and hit OK. I'm gonna zoom in, and we're now gonna tackle the face. So I'm gonna create a new layer, and we're gonna do cleanup on the face. So I'm gonna hit J for my healing brush tool, currently set to patch. I can't use the patch now because I'm not working directly on a layer with information. I'm working with a blank layer, so the healing brush tool is just perfect, making sure it's set to current and below. And I'm gonna just start sampling the good area and painting over the area I want to clean up. So that's basically what I'm gonna be doing for now, just to get rid of any unwanted blemish on the skin. And she has amazing skin, so I don't think I'll be doing a lot of skin cleanup. All right, you can tell we're almost done, even with the healing. Just getting rid of basically just the things that bug me. I think that's a beauty spot I just cleaned, but doesn't matter. Sometimes it matters. I mean, this isn't for the client anymore, neither is it for the model. It's just something I wanted to do for myself. So I become the judge, and I can do whatever I want. All right. So you can tell I'm not really doing so much of a detailed job because we still need, I mean, this is just a casual portrait. We don't need it to be as perfect, but we just need it to be clean. In case you're wondering how I'm able to pan around my images, I hit space bar when I zoom in, like when I zoom into about this point, and then I just click and drag around, and I can, you know, quickly move from one part of the frame to another quite easily. All right, just want to get rid of like these strands. I find them to be a little bit annoying. All right. Okay, so let me just do a quick before and after to see where we were and where we are. So before and after, before and after. Well, the green disappears because I brought it down. So in the before shot, it's not supposed to be there. And after. Actually, let me hide that and see. Before and after. It lacks something. It just adds something to the frame. I don't know. All right. Well, you can let me know in the comments down below if you would have taken it out, or you think me keeping it in is a good idea. So I'm gonna hit S again. Just gonna fill in these areas. Slightly higher flow, like so. Just adding to the edges. Just get rid of these. Right now I'm just being a little bit picky. Sometimes I'm not picky enough. Sometimes I'm too picky. Depends on my mood. Like I said, I'm the judge. All right, so I think about this point is pretty okay. Let me just zoom in out. Just and you know, sometimes the more you like edit, the more problem areas you find, and if you don't know that you have to stop, you might end up keep going and going and going and going. So sometimes you just need to know when to stop. But yeah, you get the idea. Okay, I think now I'm just misbehaving. I'm just gonna undo everything. Okay, no, not everything, but yeah. All right, yeah, I think this is pretty decent. All right, anyway, so the next thing we're gonna do is just do a little bit of frequency separation. But before I do that, I just wanna heal these, and that's how I actually work. Like I go back and forth, and I begin to see certain things that I probably missed, and that's why sometimes you notice I just zoom out and then zoom in, just because I'm trying to analyze the image. Because sometimes you get tired looking at it from such a close-up view, you get to miss out certain things, and when you zoom out, it changes the perspective, and so you're able to see things that you probably were not seeing when it was quite small or quite large. Okay. So now that we've been able to get rid of majority of the things that were bugging me, I'm gonna run my frequency separation action, 16-bit, press play, and I'm gonna choose a blur amount. I don't like using large blur values. I'm just gonna hit OK. I'm gonna make a duplicate of the low layer. I'm gonna hit B for my brush tool, and I'm gonna make sure I'm using my mixer brush, and I'm gonna start painting, but just wanna make the brush really, really soft. And all right, we can start. So I'm just gonna even out like all the patches, just try and blend the tonal transitions, like so. And whilst I'm doing it, I would always do it before and after, just to make sure I'm either not like going too far or doing too little. Just need to create a balance, you know. Something about this is cool. So I'm not doing micro dodge and burn. I'm just well, I'm not even there yet, but basically I'm still kind of like dodging and burning, but no with light and shadow. I'm just using the hue or the color in the image, just trying to even out as much of the tonal transitions as possible with frequency separation. Just do before and after. Kind of like how it's looking. I find this part to be a little bit too strong. Just gonna paint it down like so. Yeah, that's not bad. Gotta keep painting. So any skin tones that are varying, just gonna even them out. Just like that. I think I've gone too far with the neck. It looks funny. So I'm just gonna erase it out. Just gonna hit E for erase, make it soft as well. Go down on the flow, and I'm just gonna erase part of this so it shows through. I think that's what makes it look real. I just went way overboard. Just gonna bring in some of the blemish back, I think, because I don't want it to look too polished. I mean, I want to clean it up, but I don't want to clean it up so much. All right, so even with this low copy, I'm just going to go down on the opacity to about 50 or 60% and do it before and after. And I kind of like it. The entire frequency separation group, I'm just going to go down to about 70 something percent, and I kind of like it. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is run our dodge and burn action. So I'm going to hit that and press play. Let's run it. I'm going to open it, add a chaos adjustment layer, and increase the contrast like so. All right, what I'm going to do next is starting with dodging. So I'm going to change it from my mixer brush to a normal brush with a flow about 2%. Maybe 1 or 2. I mean, it just has to be a little. So the changes aren't that drastic. And hit B again, painting with white. I'm going to start evening out the varying skin tones. I'm going to do dodge and bend in 2 stages. This is more like a corrective dodge and burn because I'm correcting the tonal transitions. Just like so. Just trying to even out the varying skin tones like so. Yeah. It's just about it. When I'm just lightening any dark areas that I feel are too dark, especially when I compare them to their surroundings, and then I'm just lightening it up to match. That's basically all I'm doing. Just a little before and after of just the dodge layer. Just gonna dodge this area just a tiny bit, and this area as well. Alright, just gonna dodge right here. It's a little patch over here as well. And we're gonna reduce this like so. Take off the black and white and do it before and after. And you can tell we're making her look, making her skin tone look more even. Just like that. I'm also not going to do it too much because, again, I don't want to do too much. Just giving you a general idea on how to do it. Alright. Now I'm going to go to burn. And I'm going to start burning. So any area that I find to be too light, comparing it to its surrounding area, I'm just going to darken it. In case you're not seeing what's happening, just gonna do it before and after of just the burn layer alone, and you can see we're adding some kind of darkening, just like so. All right. Okay, I think I'm okay with what we've done so far. Just gonna burn the lips a bit. Alright, so this is the dodge and burn. That's what we did with it. Alright, now I'm gonna do another level of dodge and burn, and this I'm gonna use to shape the light some more. So I'm gonna hit the action one more time, and this is more global. So I'm just gonna increase my flow this time, and what I'm gonna start off is I'm just gonna make a very big brush point here, because I want to like call the lights to specific parts of her face. I don't want it going everywhere. I want to real light basically. Alright, just perfect. Alright, and then I'm gonna darken, so I'm gonna burn. So, I'm just gonna burn this in, burn that in, the bridge of the nose, inside here. Just gonna burn that. It's like a 3, so like this, and like that. So wherever there's like an existing shadow, I'm just darkening it some more. That's all we're doing. Alright. So without the black and white, let's see what we did. Yeah, you can tell we've been able to. Is that the burn? Yeah, that's the burn. Dodge also affected it a bit. So I'm gonna put a layer mask on the group itself, and I'm gonna use it to correct like spills like these. Just gonna increase the flow. So I'm gonna be doing before and after to make sure like I get rid of as many spills as possible, because we don't need the spills. We just want it to affect or target specific areas. Alright, kinda like it. I don't like the light hitting. Alright. Okay, I think this is pretty cool, and I made the strokes quite strong, so I'm just gonna bring the opacity down to about 50%. Okay, now I just need to work on the eyes a little bit. So what I'm gonna do next is hit my curves adjustment, raise it all the way up, raise it some more, raise it some more, invert it, and I'm just gonna paint with white to reveal like details on the eye, right here, and right there. Maybe just a little bit over here, like so. Just you know, show a little bit of detail in the eyes. I think this part is a bit strong just because it's more open than the other eye. So I'm just gonna, you know, paint with black over that with a lower flow, just to reduce it a little bit. Alright, now you can tell the strands here a bit more than that, right? So I'm just gonna hit B for my brush to create a new layer, make the brush small, hardness about 90%. Let's draw a stroke. We need to match what's there, so I'm going to increase the flow to about 42%. That's not so bad, but I'm going to increase my size to about 3, and yeah, that's perfect. So I'm just going to add a bit more like eyelash strands, just like that. Just trying to mimic. Okay, I didn't do so much of a good job, so I'm gonna erase it and I'm gonna start over again. So first I need like a stroke here, maybe 2 strokes here, and I need quite a number. Okay, that's too long. Not curving. Alright, that's not bad, but I need to add like a few strands here. Okay, that's not so much of a bad job, is it? I don't think I did a good job. But yeah, you get the idea. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it like that. And okay, that's fine. So the next thing I'm gonna do is just try and even out the skin tone a little bit. So I'm gonna use my gradient map tool. So I'm gonna hit gradient map. I'm gonna select a color that I think is nice for her skin. Hit OK. Change it to soft light and reduce opacity. I'm gonna hit Command I to invert it, and I'm just gonna paint over the skin. Just like that. If I need to be a little bit too strong, I'm just gonna go all the way down to about 13%. I'm just trying to even out, the skin tone. It's not trying to do anything too dramatic. Heck, I wouldn't just paint over the outfit even. Alrighty. Okay, so the next thing, so before that, let me just group everything. And let's do it before and after. So the next thing I'm gonna do is just add a little bit of brightness. I'm gonna hit levels. I'm gonna press Alt and just gonna move this in a bit like so, move this a bit like so, just add a little bit of contrast to the image, maybe go down on the opacity to about 50%. Alrighty, so yeah, there we have it, guys. In a few steps we've been able to move the image from this to this. So if you like this tutorial, give me a like or a thumbs up. Smash the subscribe button if there's something you're into. That's what Peter McKinnon likes to say. And I would see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.